Alright, so I've got some rubbing alcohol on a towel, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to clean this crevice right here. So not this outside one, but the inside one. So I'm just going to stick that in there, kind of rub it. And the reason why we're doing this is because that adhesive actually sticks to the weather strip on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and wipe that down. And again, like I said, we are doing the inside of the weather strip right there. So make sure you're doing the make sure you're doing the inside of it. And we're going to do that on both sides. So we're going to go over the rear one. So there is a difference between the rear ones. They look the same, but if you look at this flange and this flange here, it's inverted. So the longer section needs to go in the front. Okay, so what we do is we take the long end and we stick it into the weather strip like so. Obviously I haven't removed the adhesive yet. And then what you do is once you get the front jammed in, you just bend it ever so slightly and it's going to rest inside of there. See it? And essentially what you're going to do is you're just going to push up on this until it fits snugly inside the weather strip. Just like that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull this down a little bit, start removing the adhesive backing, and then we'll stick it back up. Okay, so I've got the adhesive backing partially off. We don't want to actually remove it all the way off. As you can see, I pulled it from the bottom, and you'll see why in a second. All right, so you see the adhesive is partially removed. There's little tabs on it, and the reason why you don't want to remove it all the way is because that you still need a little bit of a room for adjustment. So now that I have it where it's going to sit, you can see everything sits pretty flush on where it needs to be. And then we'll just go ahead and we'll remove the tab, and bam, the adhesive is off. We'll push it back up. Same thing here. And then we'll go to just remove this, push that up, and then remove this end. And then we should be good to go. Okay, so the adhesive is fully removed and it's all the way through the front. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to roll up the window to make sure that everything is cleared before the adhesive fully sets. So one other thing that you really want to do as well is you're going to roll up the windows individually 5 times. And so what will happen is you'll hear like some noises. That's going to sound really, really bad, but that's actually pretty normal. That's what they're supposed to do. And so they're supposed to bend into the shape that they're supposed to be in. And then once you do that, just double check all your fitment stuff. All your seals are sitting correctly. Okay, so the front ones are pretty easy. Basically, you're going to wedge this corner in. Again, just like the rear, it's going to sit inside the seal. This one's a bit easier because there's no double-sided tape, but you do have to bend it a little bit. So basically, you have this corner in, and you're going to put this corner in. However, you got to remember that this corner right here, read the instructions, it says that it needs to sit on the outside of the weather strip in the front. Because if you don't, it's going to cause the window to not, the auto up and down is going to get stuck. Okay, so hopefully this makes a little bit more sense, but you see that there's 2 seals here. Okay, so there's this exterior seal that's part of the chrome. Then there's the actual interior window seal right here, which is on the glass. This corner needs to sit on in between those 2. And that's basically it. So once you get this in, kind of, and you get this in, kind of, you're going to just basically start bending it inwards into the seal. So you're going to see, like, you can kind of manhandle this. It's a little hard because sometimes you'll get caught and you'll see that it'll start pushing down the rubber seal like here. So you got to adjust it. And it actually just is like that. So we're going to go over, check that. Yeah. And so this corner right here needs to sit on the outside of the seal. Oh. So you see it's digging into this seal on the bottom here. So it actually needs to sit on the other side of that. So, okay, so this was a problem that I also encountered on the front ones. You'll see that I tried to roll up the windows and it stopped. And as you can see between my fingers, you can see that there's a gap. So what you have to do is basically push out or pull out on this a little bit and roll up the window. So let's see. And so here you see I'm going to roll up the window a couple times here, as WeatherTech tells you to do, just to make sure that everything seats. So that's it right there. Everything's seated. So hopefully, yep, okay. So that's it right there. We're gonna leave it till tomorrow or the day after, and then we'll roll down the windows. Hopefully that's enough time for everything to seat and seal and conform how it is, but I definitely like the way it looks. So hopefully it'll help keep summers a little bit cooler. And that is it installed. It's really cool because the front didn't require any type of like weather stripping or anything, but it does take a little bit to get everything lined up. But that's it right there. The rear, on the other hand, has a bit of adhesive